why you should consider studying in Australia. So for those of you who have not been, is first of all, beautiful country. The majority of us over at OzTREKK have either lived or traveled or worked over in Australia as well. So we're a really good resource to come to about what the country is like. Myself, I finished up at Simon Fraser University and went over there and did a work travel and went around, played rugby, bartended, banana farmed, had a great time. So you can talk to me about my experience if you're interested as well. They have prestigious global reputations for the institutions that we represent, so they're highly ranked on the QS World Ranking. You are able to use your degree back in Canada after you're done studying in Australia. We understand that it's quite competitive and there are limited spaces at Canadian institutions for professional programs like law, so you can look to study over in Australia. They have a beautiful climate, beaches, city, outdoor adventurous lifestyle. A lot of our students say that their mental health is really good when they're over there studying because they get to take those beach walks and they have those sunny days. As Evneet just said, they're getting into spring, into summer over there now as we go into winter. So our graduate law intake from last year, these are some stats from our applicants. So the minimum competitive GPA was a 2.7 out of 4.0. Now that's going to range depending on which institution you apply to. So it can go anywhere from 2.7 to 3.6, depending. We do have the option of 2-year accelerated Juris Doctor degrees, if that's something that interests you, at Griffith and Bond University. There's multiple intakes throughout the year, again, depending on which institution you're going to be applying to. And there's now over 1,800 graduates from Australian law schools that are practicing back in Canada. So you're not alone. You do have a professional network back here in Canada as well. And one of the big ones that wasn't on that stats page is there is no LSAT requirement for admissions in Australia. So they are for the any law school, the undergraduate or the graduate program. For the Juris Doctor program, you are going to need that completed undergraduate degree. We do have Canadian content taught at a certain partner institutions of ours as well. So you can actually have a major in Canadian law. And as mentioned, there are some world rankings of our top institutions. So University of Melbourne, University of Sydney, and Monash are highly ranked globally. And then you can see with prestige and recognition, if that ranking is very important to you, we do have some institutions that rank higher than the Canadian law schools as well. Now, when working with OzTREKK, these are the institutions that we represent over in Australia that we can help you apply to for law school. And you can see all over, East Coast, South, West, we have institutions all over the country. I apologize, that's my dog. So we have graduate and undergraduate law degrees. We have the ones at the top there offering the graduate Juris Doctor pathway, and then we have the bachelor pathways as well and the undergraduate program. So Bachelor of Law, you can actually get into right out of year 12. And the length of that program can range anywhere from just under 3 years up to 5. So you can do an accelerated pathway, or you can do your extended, your bachelor's combined. Apologies for my dog, everyone. All right, so you can see here, just fast facts, just a kind of a snapshot, given the fact we represent so many institutions. We just wanted to give you kind of an idea, a generalization of what that looks like. So again, 2-year pathways, 3-year pathways. The tuition will range depending on which school you are going to apply to. I should mention, while we were on the topic of scholarships, Bond actually has a 25% tuition remission scholarship for Canadian applicants going on right now for their 25-year anniversary. So that's one to take note of. Keep that in mind. And then we'll hear more about the one at Sydney that Evneet received. And then again, you can see admissions tests. None, no LSAT required. And there you go for the undergrad there as well. So tuition differences depending on the institution. Some of the schools run on that accelerated trimester system. The program duration can vary depending if you want to take accelerated or combined. And that's right out of grade 12. And the bachelor, the LLB, and the Juris Doctor, the JD, are the same. They're both recognized back here in Canada. Now, showing you all those pretty institution, the university logos doesn't really help much when we talk about like, how do you choose which one's going to be the best fit for you? So that's something that Amanda will do. So when you reach out to OzTREKK, what we really want to help you walk through is finding the best fit for you. So where do you want to be if you're studying that Juris Doctor? Do you want to do an accelerated? Do you want to do a standard 3-year? Is ranking important to you? Would you like to take Canadian subjects that are offered at a few of our partner schools? What about tuition, cost of living, scholarship opportunities? All of these things, all of this information our team can help you with. And then practicing back in Canada. So once we've helped you through the application process, you've accepted your offer, you're going over to study in Australia, you can still reach out to OzTREKK after graduation, and we can talk to you about the licensing practice to come back into Canada. We also can help connect you with current students, current graduates and alumni, and they can tell you about their experience through it as well. So when you're coming back to Canada to practice, there's one additional step. So you'll have to take the NCA exams. So you have right after you graduate, you can return to Canada, write those NCA exams, which I'll cover, and then you go into articling. You can also stay back in Australia and complete your practical legal training program and get some legal experience in Australia before coming back to Canada. A lot of students do take the opportunity to practice out there as well. And for those of you in Ontario looking to practice in Ontario, you can consider going to TMU and taking their law practice program, which is an alternative pathway to articling, and it's going to be a mix of coursework and work placement. So NCA, if you go down the international law studying pathway, you'll hear about this a lot. It's the National Committee on Accreditation. So what you do is the university submits your final transcripts once you've graduated to the NCA. The NCA will advise you as to which exams you will have to write. Now, generally, it's 5 when you're coming back from an Australian institution. So those of you looking into a UK pathway, just be aware the NCA process will apply to you as well. And that can be anywhere from 7 to 8 examinations coming back. So you complete those examinations, the NCA will assess those examinations, and if you have passed, then you get your certificate, and then you can apply for an articling position. So this is the one additional step when studying outside of the country that you'll have to take to come back and get into articling. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months is what I've heard from our students. So if you want to take them quite quickly back to back, you can get those done in 3 months. Some take a bit of a longer time to study those. And for those of you interested in taking Canadian content as part of your degree, look into those institutions, Bond, Griffith, and University of Western Australia, because they will cover this as part of your program. They'll cover the Canadian content. And the Canadian content for those exams is going to be administrative law, constitutional, criminal, Canadian professional responsibility, and foundations of Canadian law. If you're writing this down and I'm going too fast, just know you're going to get a recording as well. So that process again, you apply, you write the exams, you get your qualification, then you apply to your articling, and then you go into your exam and call to the bar. Now, the question a lot of students ask is, what about financing the studies? As you saw there, the tuition fees do vary depending on which school you're going to study at, and they are international fees. So you do have the option of using your provincial loans towards your international education. We can help you with some resources if you check out our website with lines of credit, student lines of credit from Canadian institutions. There is scholarships available and grants, and some of our students use a variety of all of those methods and have some savings and family support in there as well. You are able on a student visa when you are studying in Australia, you're able to work part-time. So some of our students do supplement cost of living with working part-time as well. The minimum wage is quite high out there. I believe it, depending on which state, it's around $23 an hour. So a lot of our students will look to work in hospitality or work on campus or within research offices as well to kind of supplement that cost of living while they're studying. And Australia is actually one of the places our Canadian dollar is stronger. So you do make up for a little bit in the exchange as well, compared to if you're looking at the pound or euro or anything. And then for those of you that are brand new here and don't know much about OzTREKK, I'll just cover a little bit about us and our services. So as mentioned, we have Amanda with us on the call. And so when you reach out to law@oztrekk.com or you're applying to law school, Amanda will be our student advisor that's helping you through that process. And then OzTREKK itself, we are a completely free service to students, and we're able to provide our services to you for free because we're funded by our university partners. So we like to think of ourselves as full student support. We are absolutely student first. We are here to support you through this process and help you make the best decision. We understand that undertaking this opportunity to go study across the world is a big one. So we do have, again, all those resources for you with regards to financing, accommodation options. We can connect you with alumni, current students. We do informational sessions. You can connect with us for a call. We have information around visas, financing, healthcare, anything like that that you need to consider when you're going to undertake this option to study in Australia. So yes, dedicated program-specific student advisors, as you saw there. You have Amanda with law, and we do send, I think we're close-ish. Amanda might have to correct me. I think we're closer to about 700 students now annually across all the programs and all the schools that OzTREKK represents. So one of the nice things with our service is that we do determine if you're eligible and competitive to apply. So you can send us in your transcripts. We can review those and make sure that you're eligible and competitive to apply to the schools that you're interested in. You can send us that one set of transcripts. We can verify them and then use them to apply to multiple institutions for you at once. We actually submit the applications on your behalf. So that way you're not dealing with different university portals or missing any deadlines. The majority of those application fees too are also waived when you're applying through OzTREKK. And as mentioned there, we do support and advocate for you through this entire process. If anything comes up, any concerns during the process, any outcomes that might be unfavorable, you want us to check into certain things, we're here to assist you with that. And then we do help you with your pre-departure. So as mentioned, the accommodation, visas, all of that kind of stuff. We also throw pre-departure events. I believe they're in Toronto and Vancouver this year, where we get people who have accepted their offers to go study in Australia together in person. That will be happening in November this year. And that way they can, we celebrate them and they get to meet potential friends, classmates, and everything that way as well. So that was a little bit about OzTREKK.